You're at the Watchmen Way, 2620. Um, I was called by God in 2014 to be a watchman, to warn as many people as I could, as quickly as I could, about some possible dangers we would be facing in the future, which include the first ever worldwide economic collapse, the worldwide draining of the swamp, and the exposure of the satanic pedophilia networks that have been running our world for a very long time, hundreds, if not thousands of years, and involve people, some of the most powerful people in the world. 2 weeks ago, I was called again. Part of our prepping, it's physical, mental, and spiritual, is extra food, water, medical supplies, ammo, physical silver, and Litecoin. The physical silver and Litecoin were to protect against the losses we're all going to incur when this economy collapses, which, guys, I know President Trump talked it up pretty good in the State of the Union, but the reality is the worldwide economy is tanking as we speak. President Trump's been walking a really fine line here, using statistics that have been manipulated for 70 years to his advantage, to, make it look like the economy is, and on paper, by the numbers, it looks good. But when you figure that they're figuring the unemployment rate, how they did in 20 something years ago, the real unemployment rate today is closer to 30% than it is 4%. That's the reality. They fudge by refiguring how they're going to figure out the unemployment rate by the different factors. To me, it's very simple. You take the number of people in the workforce who want to be working, whatever that number is, how many of those people are working and how many are looking for work. It's that simple, but that's not what they do. They twist and turn and fudge and cheat until they get a 30% down to 4%. So they can show us some phony numbers and we think the economy's doing great. Same thing with the stock market, guys. The only reason the stock market's where it's at is because they've been pumping billions of dollars into it. Free money. Basically free money. 0.5% interest rate for whatever you want. Billions of dollars. They're buying up their own stock. They're propping up those companies to make it look good. If they weren't funding it, if the Federal Reserve wasn't funding big banks and big business, the stock market would be in the tank. Look at the value of these companies. It's a joke. Hardly ever making any money. Has Tesla ever made any money? Hey, look at the price of the stock. It's ludicrous. It's a joke. It's a scam. Don't get caught in the scam. You have to have physical silver and Litecoin to protect yourself of what you're going to lose, because everything on paper is going to go. Bank accounts, stocks, bonds, annuities, 401ks, pension funds, retirement accounts, all gone, guys. Everybody's going to be impacted by this, one way or another. You will make it a really positive experience if you're prepared for it. If you've got the extra food, water, medical supplies, ammo, physical silver, and Litecoin, you'll cover 10 times over what you lost when the economy goes down. It's life-changing, guys. One Litecoin today is under $74. It was $22 a couple of months ago. it's going to go through the roof when the stock market and the economy collapse. And this is worldwide, guys. Christ, look what's going on in China. Listen, if China goes down, the world economy goes down. That's how weak it is. And China is like a ghost town. There's no one on the streets. The economy's stagnant, and they're broke. It's not a recipe for great financial future. It's a recipe for financial collapse, and that's where we're at. Any day or week, this whole thing's coming down. Get your physical silver and Litecoin while you can. The Litecoin is $74 today. Some analysts believe 3 million by 2024. I think that's conservative. Cryptocurrencies are the future of money, and cryptocurrencies make banks obsolete at a time when no one will ever want to put another dime in a bank. Just think about it. You lose your bank account, you ever going to want to put another dime in the bank? No, you won't. You'd be a fool if you did. People are going to put their money in and out of the stock market. That scam is done. The cryptocurrencies are going to be the new stock market. That's the fact. The stock market is going to be dead around the world because they've been an insider game from day one. They've been screwing us over with the financial system and screwing us over with the stock markets around the world because you had to be an insider to make it work. We were the suckers who got fleeced because they know what's going to happen. It's unreal. Would you play in a rigged poker game? No. Not if you have half a brain. There will be links posted for everything you need. Silver Dealer, Coinbase, where you buy Litecoin, Ledger, where you buy your Ledger Nano S to store your Litecoin on. Anybody has any questions, my phone number will be listed in the comments section. It's also on the website. Message me, call me, text me. If I don't pick up, leave a message. I hardly ever pick up. I'm usually always on the phone. And I'll get back to you as quick as I can. But don't procrastinate. I'm not kidding. This could literally go down any day now. I think they're very close to taking the swamp down. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. When they do, the economy won't last a week. When they arrest Obama and Clinton, just think about it. I mean, the market moved 300 points when President Trump made a comment about the trade deal with China. What do you think is going to happen when they arrest Obama, Clinton, Bill, and Hillary, half Bush 43, most of his administration for 9/11, most of Obama's administration, half of the senators and congressmen are going to be arrested? What do you think is going to happen to the economy when that goes down? I'll tell you, if it doesn't come down naturally, the deep state will take it down because once they start getting arrested, they're going to collapse the economy as an attack on President Trump. That's what's going down, guys. You got to be ready for it. And don't think you're going to wait until something happens and then make your moves. Because just a couple of weeks ago, when the market was just going on a little bit of a run-up, a couple of members couldn't get on Coinbase for a day or two because they were overwhelmed with business. What do you think is going to happen when the banks close or the market collapses? Listen, there's only 84, think about this for a second. There's only 84 million Litecoin in the whole world. That's all there ever will be. 64 million of them are already sold. 75% have already been sold. There's 7.5 billion people in the world. And think about the timing of this. At a timing when all paper assets are going to shit, and everybody understands you need assets outside the system, and then they've heard the future of cryptocurrency, and especially Litecoin. It's going to be one of the main coins adopted for transactions, for settling debt. It's faster than Bitcoin. It's more efficient. It's less expensive. I think it's going to be huge. I think it's going to have the biggest return on investment of any asset in history. You know, you probably won't be able to buy it. Those last 20 million are going to go like that. The timing of it guarantees that's going to happen. Litecoin, the $70 today, could be $1,000 in 3 months. Don't be surprised if Litecoin isn't $1,000 in 3 months. And if other analysts are saying that the Bitcoin will go run up to 300,000 this year in 2020. Figuring what the analysts have figured is, whatever Bitcoin is, Litecoin will be 25% of whatever the dollar number is of Bitcoin on average. That means Litecoin this year could be 75,000. Something you paid $75 for could be 75,000 by the end of the year. You're crazy if you don't at least throw a couple $100 at this of the Litecoin, and then get 200 or 300 more of silver. You want the 1964 older dimes. Find it under junk silver Roosevelt dimes on the bullion website that I'll post, SD Bullion. Anybody has any questions, get back to me. What we've been saying up to this point is that that all of the Watchmen, and there's more than 2,000 members now and growing fast. I expect in a month we're going to double, at least. And when this goes down, it's going to go through the roof. We've been saying all along for the last several years that with proceeds from physical silver and Litecoin, the Watchmen were going to pay it forward. We were going to help others through the recovery with financial help from the gifts we've received from God with our purchases of Litecoin and silver. Well, when God came to me 2 weeks ago, it was to clarify that paying it forward. What God wants is, it virtually ends up being the same thing, but it's how it's going to be presented is that these donations that we're making are going to build the foundation of the revival of God's church. And that church is what Jesus called the way 2,000 years ago when he was on earth. Go back, look at your history books. When Jesus was here, he called his church the way. And it's brilliant in its simplicity. Tell the truth. Do the right thing. Live your life in the service of others. No priest, no bishops, no pope, no hierarchy, no leaders. We're all the church. There's no buildings. The church is wherever we are. It's how we live our lives every day. It's how we treat each other. God's not happy with church. God's not happy with how we use the Bible. We're not using it how we intended. We're using it as a weapon to beat on each other for the most part. That's how I see most Christians using the Bible today, and God's not happy about it. The Bible should be a book of comfort. Most Christians can't tell you where the Bible came from. And that's the other problem, was where the Bible came from. Jesus did not write the Bible. Some of the apostles wrote a couple of books. But Emperor Constantine assembled the Bible in 330 AD, the Council of Nicaea, where they took hundreds of books that have been written from the Jews all the way through what we would call the early day Catholics of the time of Jesus, the apostles. That's where the Bible came from, the New and the Old Testament. From those books assembled by Emperor Constantine. Emperor Constantine. A guy who would be a satanic pedophile today, who would be a globalist, who would be a deep stater, who would be a swamp rat today. They assembled the Bible as a way to manipulate us. That was the whole angle. The same, again, these are the same people that created the internet to control us, that created social media to control us. The same people assembled the Bible. Use your critical thinking skills. Now, God still left enough in the Bible so that we would be here, ready for this day, this battle that's going on right now, good versus evil. This is Armageddon right now, guys, in the spiritual. That's what we're seeing right now. Most people are going to say, well, nothing's going on. Just wait until you get the real report about what's been going on behind the scene. All those earthquakes you've been feeling, all those explosions you've been hearing, there's a whole different story to what's been going on. And it has to do with draining the swamp and the deep state and eliminating all of their negative assets they had to control us, to threaten us with. Nuclear weapons, bioweapons. There's been a battle going on behind the scenes for the last couple of years. And it's all going to be revealed here in the next year, 6 months to a year, as they arrest the swamp. And that's happening, guys. The swamp is going down. Q's been talking about it. I think when you look at the big picture, what's going on around the world and in our country, I think everything points to the swamp going down anytime. Days or weeks. It's not months or years now, guys. It's days or weeks. That's where we're at for the economy going down, the swamp draining, and the pedophiles being exposed and obviously eliminated. Whether they're going to be executed for murder or, spend the rest of their life at Gitmo, they're going down. Changes the world, guys. Changes everything. A lot of people have been getting upset because I've been saying we're heading into man's greatest age, and and I don't get it. Why would you be opposed to living in peace and harmony? I don't get it. Especially when you've experienced what we have for the last 100 years. I mean, we haven't been free in this country, maybe ever, and certainly not since the Federal Reserve was implemented in 1913-14. It was actually opened in 1914 in January, but they voted it in December of 1913. The biggest scam ever perpetrated on the American people. Up until that point, we were printing our own money. The Treasury was. And controlling our own economy, and we're doing great. Federal Reserve took over in 1914. A U.S. dollar that was worth 100 cents in 1914 is now worth 3 cents today, just over 100 years later. We lost 97% of the value of the U.S. dollar thanks to the Federal Reserve. And that was the plan. It was to destroy us. That's what the globalist agenda is all about. Read Agenda 2030. It's on the UN website. They had bad intentions for us. Let's leave it at that. Do your homework. There's a lot to learn about what these people had in store for us. And basically we're talking about, when you're talking about the satanic pedophiles, the globalists, the elite, the cabal, the Illuminati, deep state swamp, they're all the same people. They're all involved in the same things. They all have the same goal, which is to enslave mankind. And what they want is, basically, they want enough of us around to do their bidding, to be their slaves, to participate in their sacrifices and their torture. 800,000 children a year go missing in the United States alone. Think about that. Most people don't believe it when I tell them this. Look it up. 800,000 children a year go missing in the United States alone. And you know why the politicians and the mainstream media aren't talking about it? Because they know where these kids are going. The CIA has been running breeding farms. Yeah. Breeding humans. The cute ones, they sell into child sex trafficking. This is the CIA now. The homely ones, they sell into, they sell for body parts. Organ harvesting. Selling babies for organ harvesting. The homely ones. Because they can't sell them for child sex trafficking. Think about that. Let that sink in. CIA snatching a lot of these kids off the street and the FBI covering up, and it's all going to come out. Look at Epstein. Look at the Epstein case. Look at Nexium. Epstein was running honeypots. They have all of these criminals, all these monsters on video, torturing and murdering children. The Hillary Clinton snuff video called Frazzle Drip is real. You can look at it at the dark web right now. Hillary Clinton and Uma Abedin sexually assaulting, torturing, and murdering an 8-year-old girl that's strapped to an operating table. Let that sink in. And there's thousands of hours of that kind of video of the wealthiest, most powerful people in the world. Think about it. Think about what happens when that information comes out. Think cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is going to be at epidemic levels. It's what happens when a person is faced with contradictory evidence to their strongly held beliefs. Their brains freeze up. They can't process it. It's crushing. It's like a computer freezing up. It's overload. Think about that happening in the middle of extensive civil unrest, rioting and looting. And you're out of food and your kids are hungry. That's worst case scenario. I don't think it's going to happen, but we have to be prepared for it. I don't think any of us are going to have to fire a shot. I honestly don't. I think President Trump's on top of this, but again, we prepare for the worst. And the worst case scenario is, whenever this all goes down, I think all of this is going to happen within a 2 to 4 week period. Everything. The swamp draining, the economy, worldwide economy collapsing, and the pedophiles being exposed. 2 to 4 weeks. We're going to get all of that piled on. Now, for those of us who know about it, it's not a big deal. But for the people that have been asleep, it's going to crush them. And that's why we have to be ready. Because they're going to be, our phones will be ringing off the hooks. The Watchmen who have been doing this for a while, where all your friends know what you do, what you talk about, your phones will be ringing off the hook. So if you want to be a better person, if you want to live your life in the service of others, the first thing you need to do is take the Watchman Way challenge. For 1 week, live your life the way. Tell the truth all the time. Do the right thing. Every decision you have to make. Live your life in the service of others. Do that for a week. I mean, it changed me in a day. I was hooked. Try it for a week and see what happens. because this is what God wants. This is the future. And the kicker is God wants this ready to roll, and I think we're ready to roll now, to fill the void left when the Catholic Church collapses this year, because the Pope's going to resign, and there's a lot of bad stuff coming out about the Catholic Church and pedophilia. They've been human trafficking for 50 years at least, out of the Vatican. Child sex trafficking. That's their number one moneymaker for the Vatican. It's all going to come out, guys. This year, all this is going to go down. I don't think they can go past summer, early summer, because they can't get right up to the election. They can't do this in August for sure. Probably can't do it in July. I think by June, they've got to have all these people arrested, or the biggest majority of them arrested. And of course, when that happens, the economy's going to go one way or another. So we got to be ready. We got to take advantage of every day that we have. You know, and how we do that, how we pay it forward right now is by reaching out to our friends, relatives, neighbors, trying to get them ready for this. There's never going to be another time in history where you can have as big an impact on changing people's lives. Just think about this. You can take somebody who's a dishwasher today, and if they have $150, they can put into Litecoin. If they have $25, based on the prices today, $25 will get you $1 million in 4 years. I know everybody out there can come up with $25. Don't go to Starbucks for a month. Don't buy cigarettes for a month. Don't buy beer for a month. Don't buy wine for a month. There's something you can cut out that you can make. Because listen, there has never been a time like that in history before. There will never be a time like this in history again, where just average people for a few dollars are going to be able to make life-changing investments. You know, this is generational stuff. If you have 30 or 40 Litecoin in 4 years, nobody for 200 years is ever going to have to work in your family. We're talking about, you know, generational wealth here for the people that see this, that see what's coming and take advantage of it. And listen, it's better to have it in Litecoin or physical silver than in the bank or in the stock market, because those are going, guys. You heard it here. If you get burned now, you got nobody to blame but yourself. If you're hearing this message and you don't take advantage of this, because these are gifts from God. It's in the Bible. Everything that's been taken or stolen from you will be returned sevenfold. Trillions, hundreds of trillions, I think, dollars have been stolen from America over the last 100 years. Just wait till you see. Wait till you see what the banks have been doing. Wait till you see what these government officials have been doing with all their aid money they've been shipping around the world and getting kickbacks on. It's going to come out in the Ukraine. It's going to come out all around the world. All this corruption and manipulation. It's all good, guys. It's all awesome. Greatest transfer of wealth in human history. Man's greatest accomplishment in destroying this evil that's ruled over us for at least hundreds of years. Eliminating the force that's created every war, every terrorist attack, every school shooting has been engineered by these people the last 300 years. Removing that evil from the world, 90% of the evil is going to be gone. At the same time, the way is taking hold and exploding. God's saying that in 20 years, the way will be the biggest religion in the world. And think about it. Coming at this time, when we're going to see the kind of evil, you're not going to be able to hide from it. This is going to be on the mainstream media 24/7 worldwide for weeks. No one will be able to hide from it. No one will be able to deny it. What kind of world do you think we're going to have when that evil's gone and the way is taking hold? When people are trying to live better lives, when people are trying to live their lives in the service of others. Heaven on earth, guys. Man's greatest age. 1,000 years of peace and prosperity. That's where we're headed. Embrace it. Rejoice. Everybody starts running around like their hair's on fire when you start talking about, and I kind of get it, first ever worldwide economic collapse sounds scary. The draining of the worldwide swamp, what does that mean? People start to, change is hard for people, even when it's change for the good. We have to sell how positive this is. There is no reason to fear anything that's coming. It's all good, guys. And that's what we got to do. We got to wake people up. We've got to tell them about all these positive changes that are coming and how to prepare for them. It's simple. Lisa wanted me to remind you that the forum on the watchmanway.com. So this is the way, the Watchman Way website. The reason we want to go there for the forum, guys, is that a lot of the stuff you're posting on Facebook right now is being removed. You can post on the website, you can post whatever you want. Free speech reigns at the website. So go to the forum and sign up. That's where all of the Watchmen will meet to discuss these things. The forum at thewatchmanway.com. So everybody please go. Everybody please sign up. Please spread the word. Please let everyone know. I think there are links to the Watchmen.co, our main website for the Watchmen. There should be links over. We should have links to both the YouTube channel and the other website, I think. And if we don't, we'll get them up. So it's easier for you guys. Oh, listen, and there's a suggestion box, I believe, also, either at thewatchman.co or thewatchmanway.com for ideas on projects for the other side of this when we're building the foundation of the way. What we're going to do, guys, is we're going to have... I am not a preacher. I don't want to be a pope. My job is a messenger and a watchman. What we're doing as watchmen is we're getting this ball rolling with the way. We're going to act as kind of intermediaries between our money and other money around the world and people who have ideas but don't have the resources. People who have ideas and manpower but don't have the resources, we will hook up. Either we'll fund them through the watchman.co, through our money that we've accumulated, or we'll have other people around the world doing the same thing. That's the beauty of this thing, guys, is, we've talked about, there's no way to control this for the black hats because there's no hierarchy. The money, the donations, they don't go to some central location. We take our donations and we put them in the hands of the needy. That's how it works. I usually say this, but I don't charge any fees for anything I do. I don't monetize the videos. I don't accept donations. I've never taken a penny for anything I've done, and I never will, because I want this to be pure. And it can't be pure when there's money involved, as far as what my job is, to tell the truth, to not be beholding to anyone's money advertisers, monetization that's basically muzzling me from telling you the truth. You're going to get it all here, guys. I don't pull any punches here. Now, not that I don't make mistakes. I'm human. But I've got a pretty good track record, and it's going to be even better, I think, if you look at it in 6 months or a year. Because everything that I've been saying is going to happen for the last 5 years, I've been off on the timing. I freely admit it. But as a watchman, you can't be late. Being a half hour early doesn't do you any good. We got to be early so people can do things about what's coming. But everything else, I think, as far as the things that are coming, I think I'm spot on. And so far, it's all falling into place. And every day that goes by, there's more indication that it's heading exactly where God showed me it was heading. And that's all good for us if you're prepared. I'm not going to read that now. Lisa's sending me a message, but I don't want to get into it during the minute. Let me just make sure I don't have anything else here. So also along the lines of the swamp, somebody asked that I talk a little bit about the swamp today. So I've kind of given you a good overview. But one of probably the biggest factor in the size of the swamp, we can credit, obviously, the globalists, but Jimmy Carter. It was during his administration that he came up with, or they told him to come up with, the senior executive services. So basically what this was a way for the globalists in a concerted effort to control our government from the inside with placement of high-level government officials that would then hold their positions for 30 or 40 years. Think about that. That's how they got us to the point they had us for the 2016 election. When President Trump took office, there were more globalist traitors in our government than there were patriots. That's a fact. Because it started back in the 70s. Think about that. 50 years, basically. Almost 50 years. And they were building this thing up. And of course, they had the CIA, all part of it, huge part of it, controlling the media. Look up Project Mockingbird. They've controlled the media since right after the Second World War. Look at the newscast. When I was a kid, we had 3 stations, so it was easy, right? ABC, NBC, CBS. Flip during the news. It was all on the same time. It was only the news on. You couldn't really watch anything else. They all run the same stories in exactly the same order. How does that happen? Day after day after day after day after day after day, year after year, after decade, you switch the channels, they'd be running, the other station would be running the same exact story. Switch again, you could do it all day long. They're running the exact same stories in the exact same time slots. Doesn't that make you suspicious? There were stories they wanted to force feed you, and this is the way they did it. Because you couldn't miss the story. If you're going to watch TV, you were going to watch the stories they wanted you to see. And they got that run for, started in the 40s, still going on today. It's not going to stop until President Trump declares martial law. When he takes these people down, then he will seize the mainstream media. Remember, all these criminals, all their assets, all these elite, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the Paysours, Soros, Clinton, Obama, all that wealth they have is going to be stripped from them. Executive Order written 12/21/17 that allows the federal government to seize the assets of any person or corporation involved in human trafficking or corruption, which means all of them. Facebook, Twitter, Amazon, Google. All their assets are going to be seized. This is all good, guys. The swamp is going down this year, 100% for sure. What day is it going to be? Don't gamble with your family's future. Get what you need today. Don't think you're going to wait till the prices go down or things get easier. Do it now. You're going to kick yourself if you don't. Again, I don't think, it's going to go anything close to worst case. I think that even the people that aren't prepared are going to get through this okay. They may not eat every day. Their families may struggle because there could be shortages in the grocery stores. But I think President Trump keeps the power on and keeps food in the stores. If he can do that, we're going to get through this thing clean. Those that are prepared are going to thrive through this. And especially on the other side. When everybody's scrambling, nobody has any money, except for if you have physical silver or Litecoin outside the system. It has to be assets outside the system. That's what physical silver and Litecoin do for you. Okay, let's see what we got for questions. Okay. Lisa, how you doing? Danielle, hello. Keith. Girls are here. Danielle's also been a big help. Thank you, Danielle. Cousin Bill. There's Lisa. You doing, Lisa? Keith, Cynthia, how are you? Susan, hello. David, what's up? Is Litecoin 74, David? David, looks like David might have 200 Litecoin. David's going to be a very wealthy man someday. Mike, Libby, how are you? Jeannie, hello. Danny. I bet it's cold in Canada. I'm glad I live in California. How you doing, Joy? Bill, how are you? Susie, we got to get your ledger straightened out, right? Please call me tomorrow if I forget to call you. I've been meaning to get this done for you, and I just been buried. Chad, how you doing? Goodbye, swamp. That's it. God is in control. Thanks, David. Lisa, hello. Rita, how are you? Todd. Litecoin is going up by the minute, guys. I'm telling you. What did I say was going to happen right before the collapse? We would see the stock market start to falter, and Litecoin and silver would start to head up, and that's exactly where we're at. The Q's kind of been hinting after the acquittal, the swamp was probably going to drain. Watch the news around the 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th. This month, guys, it's going to be a big month. Hi, Tessie. I did not watch the video. I saw that you posted it. But again, I've just been swamped, guys. So, and again, guys, don't send me stuff in Messenger. I won't open it. I won't. I think I told you guys, and we shouldn't be sending anything through Messenger except for text. Nothing you have to open. Don't send any files through Messenger. I had a good friend of mine send me something last year, and it had a virus. It wasn't my friend. It was somebody who hacked my friend's account and then sent me the virus. That's what they do. They see someone who you communicate with on a regular basis. They hack that person and then send you the virus. So nobody on the Watchmen should be using Messenger. We should all have each other's phone numbers. We can send regular text through Messenger, but do not send attachments. I will not open them, so don't send them. Post, if you want me to see something, post it on the Watchmen page and tag me, and I'll come look at it. But I'm not going to open it if you send it in Messenger. Okay, so Angel's wanting to know about the Litecoin value today and where it's going to go in the future. Okay, so I've kind of laid it out here, guys. 84 million total. That's all there will ever be. 64 million already sold. 7.5 billion in the people. Some analysts believe it'll be $3 million by 2024. I think that number's conservative. I think Litecoin will surpass Bitcoin in value because of how versatile it is. There's a reason God showed me Litecoin. I own a fraction of a Bitcoin and a lot of Litecoin because God showed it to me. And after my 25,000 hours of research, I found even more evidence to make me like Litecoin. The same with physical silver, guys. Listen, there's a reason. These are gifts from God. Don't miss this opportunity. Don't reject this gift from God. He wants us to have this wealth. Listen, we saw what happened in the world we have today when the evil controlled the financial systems and the financial markets. God wants his people to control the financial markets in the new world. The world of light. The world of good. That's what's going to happen. So you can be a part of it, be on the good end of the stick, or not. You know, it's your choice. But the people, the believers, are going to be wealthy beyond their wildest dreams. And going to be able to do a lot of good with that money, with those assets. That's what God wants. That is the whole point of what I've been doing for over 5 years now, and what the Watchmen have been doing for over a year and a half, I guess. And this thing is growing every day, guys. Trust me, it's going to be huge. Be a part of something good. Be a part of the most important 10 years in human history. Don't watch from the sidelines. Get in the game. This is a chance for everybody to get in the game. And there's very little risk today. Think about doing this 5 years ago when Obama was president. I was expecting my front door to get kicked in any day. I bought a special shotgun just for the occasion. Semi-automatic, 12 gauge, 10 rounds of double odd buck, semi-automatic. I'll never have to use it. I didn't sleep very good for several years until Trump was elected. So it's all good, guys. It just gets better every day. I couldn't write a better script. I knew about this stuff in 1967, how corrupt the Catholic Church was, how corrupt churches were, how corrupt our government was. I couldn't see a way we could ever overcome the evil that was driving this. And look where we are. It's amazing, guys. This is magical. We should be celebrating this. If it wasn't for us having to finish this, we would be dancing in the streets. And don't lose sight of that. Look around. Look what's happening in the world. It's changing, guys. And it's changing for the better. Get on board. Spread that message. Okay, let's see. Let me just make sure there's no more questions here. Oh, here's the other thing. Um, we have started kind of a new project here. Um, anybody who has, here's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get the word out about the way as fast as we can, any way we can. So anybody who has any PR experience, any marketing experience, any advertising experience, anybody that could help us spread this word faster, please contact Lisa. Contact Lisa or me, and be a part of this. They're kind of Lisa's working with Danielle right now, kind of brainstorming this. So anybody has any ideas, please get a hold of us. Somebody's asking about Q. Q is for real, guys. Lisa, could you post the qproofs.com? And I'll post it too. Go to qproofs.com. Q is for certain probably, I think Q plus is actually President Trump. Q, I think, is a group of military intelligence and NSA agents working with the president to put out messages to kind of let us know what's going on. Q said right away up front that some would be disinformation because they couldn't, if you put out all accurate 100% information, then the bad guys know what you're doing. So they put out a mix. It's also, if you go to the forum on the watchmanway.com, they're talking about that right now. Oh, there's also a Q video at the watchmanway.com. And we probably should have that on the watchman.co too. I don't know. That's Lisa's department. Okay, guys. Anything else? Yeah, Litecoin is 74.21. Wow. Unbelievable, guys. It was $22 a couple of months ago. It's going to go through the roof, I'm telling you. Get on board. Angela, you buy it at Coinbase. You can find the Coinbase, just coinbase.com. You can also go to the website, either website. You can go to my page, you can go to the Watchman page. It's all listed there. It's also in the previous chats, but I'll put it in the comments section again for tonight. Calm before the storm, guys. And anybody who hasn't seen Everything's a Rich Man's Trick, that video is posted on, I think, all the websites, on the Watchman page, on my page. You have to watch this video. It's 3.5 hours long, and every single Watchman needs to watch this video. I guarantee you it'll save you 60 hours of research. A 3.5 hour video will save you 60 hours of research. You got to watch it. Everything's a Rich Man's Trick. It's on the websites, all the pages. Excuse me. Okay, listen, guys. Don't think about what you have heard the way is. The way, there's no, you can't point to one thing in the way. Now I'm talking about Jesus's way from 2,000 years ago. It's 100% pure, guys. Libby's talking about a cult from the 70s that was called The Way. This is nothing to do with anything like that. This was Jesus' church. And of course, the elites never adopted it. Instead, they came up with a Bible because they wanted a control structure, and they couldn't get it with the way. There's a possibility that JFK Jr. could be on the Q team. That's a possibility. I personally think JFK Jr., I think it's 90% he's alive. We'll know here, I think, pretty soon. Before the 2020 election. I think if he's alive, he might be the running mate for President Trump in 2020. But they've got to do something here in the next month or so. They can't wait too much longer. If that's going to happen. Diane, how you doing? Thank you, David. Yeah, with the way, guys, it's like 501c3s. You know, you think your church is free with their messages? They're not. Not if they're 501c3. They can't talk about abortion. They can't condemn abortion if they're 501c3. God doesn't want the government controlling the church. God's not happy with any organized religion right now, guys. I'm telling you. There's not one that God's happy with. There's not a church that God's happy with. They're all teaching the wrong messages. These mega church, what a joke. The Catholic Church, name one. And I'll poke holes in it. Because they weren't for our benefit. They were to control us. Use your critical thinking skills. Use your discernment. If you learn nothing else here, question everything. Don't believe a thing I tell you. Look it up for yourselves. Knowledge is power, more so today than at any other time in history, guys. It's going to make people billions of dollars, and it's going to lose. The lack of knowledge is going to lose people billions of dollars. I know millionaires today who won't listen and are going to lose every dime they own. Because they're too arrogant. They know it all. Well, they're going to find out real quick they don't know it all. Yeah, everything Lisa's saying, if you guys go to the forum, all the questions you're asking about Litecoin, about Q, you'll get all the answers at the forum. Diane, how you doing? No. The Clintons' reign is over, guys. The Clintons are famous for murdering people. Yes, that's true. But the Clintons are going to be executed for treason. So they're not long for this earth. And probably don't have much power at this point. Larry Martin, how you doing? Okay, guys. That's all the questions. Remember, no fear. Life is good. We are on the verge of man's greatest accomplishment. Let's finish this out, and then we'll celebrate when Obama and Clinton are locked up at Gitmo. That'll be the first celebration. And the second one will be after we've got through the recovery. And we've ended homelessness. And we've ended hunger. And not just in America, but we're going to do this around the world, guys. We're not stopping. The Watchmen, with God's word from a couple of weeks ago, will be here, hopefully for eternity, doing our work. Watching, making sure that what just about happened with evil taking the world over never comes close to happening again. That's what we're going to be here for, to spread the way and watch from the wall. That's what we're going to be doing. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave it there for tonight. Remember, fear not. God and President Trump are 1,000% in control. We'll see you tomorrow night at 5 Pacific. God bless.